Alright, welcome back to Let's Play TektopiaTowns.com. This is episode 5. As you can see, done a little bit of work. I'll show a time lapse for that if I can if I can figure out how to get it to work. Did a whole bunch of stuff in between episodes. Obviously found kind of cheated. This isn't all iron. I've got emerald blocks and gold blocks and diamond blocks, and everything is tucked up in there to make a full beacon for 2, so I can have the jump boost, regen, and haste 2. Because one of the things I'm going to be doing next, since we got the main storage mostly built, a couple of blocks here I still need to switch out, but we're going to be working on the farm layer, and it's going to be a lot of digging and filling and water removal and all kinds of fun stuff. Some other stuff I've been doing is gathering loads and loads of sand and gravel. Let's see, got a whole bunch of sand and gravel here. We're going to be tackling that ocean monument out here in a little bit, not too long from now. So need all that. Already worked up what the game plan is for that. I think going to use a Il Mango design for placing a sand wall around the ocean monument, and then we'll go through. Let's see where to. Okay, so I've got a potion of water breathing, night vision, some invisibility, and a health potion, so we can tackle that monument a little bit easier. We're gonna have to build a little safety platform up around it so I can get the sand and the gravel placed in all around it to help make it a little more secure. And then, not exactly sure the design I'm going to use. We'll set up a guardian farm for XP and for drops. That'll come a little later though. So let's see, what else did we do? Had to go on a bit of a mining session to find some more ores to fill this bad boy up. Had to go to the wither skeleton farm to get the heads or the skulls for the beacons. That took about 10 minutes to get the first skull, then it was like a half an hour before the second skull dropped, and then it was like another maybe 15 minutes before the third one dropped, and then all of a sudden I started being able to pull like 6, 7, even 5 wither skeletons at once into the killing chamber, and got 3 more within like 10 minutes. So that's why I have the 2 beacons. I probably wouldn't have stuck around if I hadn't suddenly started pulling way more numbers, because before that it was like 1, 2, or 3 at a time was the most I could really get. But once they really started to just like follow me and just appear, and it made it way easier. So I got the other 3. So we got those. And let's see, what else to get you caught up on? I don't know. I don't remember. I don't remember if I showed the entrances here. Put some stairs and just some blocking. I might change this a little bit. I kind of don't like the way it looks, really. May move the stairs to the outsides and put more iron bars in there so it looks a little more solid and complete. But basically this is just so that my guards can get up at all 4 cardinal directions. And everything's lit up, so if we check it, there's no reds anywhere. I'll go ahead and run a time lapse of building the beacon and the storage, and you'll see why I had to light it up. Alright, well that was the storage level put together. Um, Unfortunately, I did not get any good footage of me clearing out the farm level underneath. There really was no good vantage point for the replay mod. And if you remember in the beginning, this whole area was pretty much just a tiny little island, and there was a ton of water around here. And underneath the storage room is probably about 80% water. So that was a real pain to clear out. And like I said, I didn't get very good footage of that, so I didn't want to show any of it. We will go down and look at the end result at least. In the meantime, I have a couple of mock-ups here I wanted to show that I made in Excel just to really kind of show what's going on here. So as you can see, it's 8 farms. The center section is where the stairs come down, and you'll see that they're all the same size, which figures into the equation when the town decides to give a farmer an order to go harvest something somewhere, or to till, or to plant, or whatever. It randomly picks a farm. So each one of those green squares, the big squares, is a farm. They all have roughly the same chance of being picked because, well, they're all the same size and they're all going to be almost the same distance away from the town hall token. So it's one of the nice things that I really like about this is if you were to plant like on each of the cardinals, carrots, potatoes, wheat, and beetroot, and then on each of the corners, the same one of each. Each crop has 2 squares, one on the cardinal, one on the corner. So whether a cardinal or a corner is picked, each crop has pretty much the same chance of being selected. Now you'll notice on the outside is this light green color. That is sugarcane. And this is what I call the level 1 farm. This will get you through probably a couple dozen villagers at least, maybe more depending on how much you want to supplement, and if you have ranchers and a butcher and chefs, and you got all that going as well. This could last maybe a little bit longer. The next level, as you'll see here, is a little more complicated. You still have the same center, the same core, the same level 1, and then essentially we're doing double farms. Now, each of those big green rectangles is considered one farm. And as you'll notice, they're pretty much, once again, all the same distance away from the town hall, and they're all the same size. So the algorithm, when it picks, will either pick pretty much a cardinal in the middle, a corner in the middle, or one of the level 2s. Now, once again, as long as each one of those pairings is like one crop. So if you did like carrots, potatoes, wheat, beets, around like that, then each one of them is going to have pretty much the same chance of being chosen when a level 2 farm is selected by the town. So doing it like this keeps everything very even. You don't really have to worry about if you have one farm that's like right outside your town hall and then the rest of them are scattered farther out. The one right by your town hall is probably going to get picked way more often than the others. So whatever you've got in that farm, unless you've got it mixed well, there's a good chance you're just going to get an abundance of whatever that is, and you'll be lacking some of the other farms. This way, you don't have that problem. As long as you have the same number of farms for each crop, they should come in fairly equally. On this level, you'll notice that I removed all the sugarcane that was around the level 1 farm, and now it's just in a couple of spots on the outer part. On this one, if you wanted to, obviously you could go ahead and put it all the way around the outside. I mean, by this point, you'll probably have an absolute ton of sugarcane, so you probably won't need to do that. I do actually have plans for a level 3 farm, which goes out yet another row of farms. I'm not going to show that because I've never actually had to use it. I've never had a town get big enough where it was necessary. These 2 levels are more than enough to feed 100, 150, maybe 200 villagers. So this one works out great. Remember, when you set these farms up, whether it's level 1 or when you expand to level 2, you don't necessarily have to go through and till every single piece or every plot inside that farm. The farmers will do it, but you need to get some of it started. So a quick way, if you just wanted to get it going, is maybe do around the outside, till everything around the outside, and then I usually put a light source and a half slab right over top of the water block. That way there's no chance that a villager is going to get stuck on it. Carpets, lily pads, fence posts, some of that stuff will mess up their pathing, and you will see them get stuck sometimes. So in order to avoid that, I just put a glowstone right above the water block and a half slab above that, and then they can't get into it, so it's never an issue. Maybe do the 8 squares right around that center water block, and then plant whatever it is you're planting in that farm. Plant at least right around those 8 blocks in the middle. The farmer should be able to go through and eventually till the entire space, and they'll start seeding it from the inside out. If you have more time, you don't care about having to do it yourself. I mean, you can obviously till and plant all of it, and then that just makes it easier for the farmers. They can focus on harvesting and replanting whatever's already grown. So totally up to you how you want to run it. More hands-on or more hands-off. Either way works, but remember, with a farmer, you do have to get the plot started. Alright, so that should cover pretty much everything for the farm and the farming level and the farm mechanics and all that fun stuff. Let's go ahead and move on and run some video of me setting the wall around the ocean monument. So unfortunately, I had about 4 hours worth of video of me putting um, some cross hatching into that square around the ocean monument, and then clearing all the water, and then clearing all the sand out of the inside, that my 2-year-old called under my desk and killed the power to my computer, and it did not rebuild correctly. So I lost all that. Anyway, for episode 6, we'll go ahead and build us up a guardian farm, and we'll put in a squid farm, and then we'll work on our town hall level in our town. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.